Joining me now, CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson. Joey, good to have you.
Good to be with you, Jim.
All right, so there are two allegations at the core of the case. The first is going under a violation of the consumer protection law, which stops all deceptive or unfair trade practices. They're saying, in effect, that people bought tickets, they were told it was in a certain zone, and then FIFA kind of moved that zone, so it's not quite as good a view of the game as they thought when they paid all these money for the tickets. Do the attorneys general have a good case on that basis?
It certainly looks to be, and I think what you described is the old bait and switch, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's important to understand in talking about this that this is a civil probe. It's not a criminal probe. What's the difference? A civil probe really looks at what you hit on, which is consumer practices and whether those practices were fair, whether they were reasonable, and whether people have been misled. But on its face, it appears to be, and again, when I say on its face, there's an investigation that's ongoing. There have been subpoenas that have been issued looking for information with respect to the tickets release, with regard to what those tickets were, with respect to the public statements, et cetera, and what consumers thought they were getting versus what they actually did get. But on its face, in the event that you're selling a ticket, a consumer has a right to expect the benefit of their bargain. They apparently, Jim, had categories, category 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if I purchased a ticket for category 1, that's where I should be. It shouldn't be after the fact where you revise your map. And oh, by the way, you're in category 1, but you're not really in category 1 because we've sold other additional tickets that have people closer that, by the way, weren't available at the time you purchased your ticket. In addition to that, there should not have been artificially inflated prices. That is, the attorney generals are looking into whether there was this what's called fake scarcity. Yeah. We operate, of course, in economics on supply and demand. If the demand is high and the supply is low, what happens to prices? They're going to be higher. And so it's going to be examined whether they created, FIFA did this fake scarcity where they would release a minimal amount of tickets. There'd be this ticket scare. Oh, we got to get tickets. Oh, by the way, we have another amount of tickets that's being released. So I think if consumers were taken advantage of, they certainly should be compensated for that. And I think that as a result of this investigation, it'll bear fruit on what those practices were. Were people deceived? And did they, in fact, that is, ticket purchasers get the benefit of their bargain?
It's not the first time we've seen accusations of fake scarcity. And we've seen other ticket agencies lose cases, based on that accusation. I mean, what does it take to prove, for the state attorneys general to prove that that's what happened here?
Yeah, so not much, quite frankly. Remember, since we're not dealing with criminality, we're dealing with a different standard of proof. We're not dealing with beyond a reasonable doubt, was this done? No, it's not the standard. Is it more likely than not that this occurred? And it would seem to me that based upon the documentary evidence that will be produced, Jim, with these subpoenas, you'll be able to establish what did ticket purchasers actually purchase? Did they get what they purchased? Were tickets held back? Were they held back for the purpose of inflating the price artificially? When did that happen? Who did it happen to? What was the nature of this? Were they artificially inflated? Were people given false information? Were there false representations? Was there misrepresentation? Was there fraud? So I think all of that will come out through the documents, but I think it's important to note that because it's not criminal, the essence of the remedy, how people will be made whole, is really in the effect, really giving them back the money that was lost as a result. Yeah. But be sure that FIFA, in the event they did wrong, Jim, will be fined significantly in addition to having to disgorge, that is, give up the massive profits they allegedly would have taken in. So we'll see what this investigation entails.
The worries I would have if I bought a ticket already would be that, okay, maybe even if you win, right, how much money actually comes my way? How much goes to the lawyers, right? And when does it come? Because a lot of these settlements where, well, you never see much. But we'll see. Joey Jackson, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jim. Absolutely.